How did the name DaLocSmiff come about?
The name DaLocSmiff came about, okay, one day I was at home with my husband, Devontae. He goes, we were trying to figure out if it was supposed to be 2 words or 1 word, and I'm like, should it be like the, like THE, or duh, like DA, locksmith. But it was always locksmith with no K, right? So he's like, just make it all 1 word. So, but he switched it. He's like, take the TH off the end and put the 2 Fs, and that was it right there. That was a hit. It's a hit. It's lit. My name is Njemile Mack, and I also go by DaLocSmiff. I specialize in all natural lock maintenance, meaning I don't use any gel or any tools, any wax or any creams, any tight hold products. I only use water and some oil to do my lock maintenance. DaLocSmiff is like just a dope soul, man. She's so chill. She's gonna give you some knowledge while you're in the chair, you know, educate you, and just encourage you to keep going on your lock journey.
We're going to Flossmoor this morning. Flossmoor, Matson, we're going Valparaiso, Indiana, back to South Holland. So stay with me today. We're gonna show you a little bit about what I do.
We are headed to Flossmoor. We're going to my client Ryan's house. I want to say Ryan met me on social media. Since he found me, he's been pretty consistent. He's got like a kind of dry scalp. I just make sure I tend to his scalp, and yeah, that's the only concerns really. Other than that, his hair wasn't really damaged when he came to me. It was like nothing to fix other than his dry scalp. Some people come, they're in pretty bad shape when they first come. But I healed them. We bring them back, we bring the locks back, rejuvenate them, and we don't have any more problems, so.
Hello?
Hey.
Hey, what's up?
I'm outside, Ryan. Remember, I got my cousin with me. We recording, okay?
Alright, that's cool. You see you outside right now?
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna come to the door with you.
Okay.
Alright.
Bye-bye.
Hey. It don't take much. That gel will do it though. I had to stop using gel because my hand, I got eczema real bad, so my hand's dried out.
Ready?
I've always done locks. I would only do like mine or my mom's, because we've always had them. I've had locks since I was 3 years old. And I wanted my hair like my mom's, that's how I got them. But I started doing my mom's, and then I took over doing my father's because he said my mom was too heavy-handed. So my dad is Puerto Rican, so doing his hair is kind of how I found my technique, because he has like it's like a slick texture, but it's like straight and then it curls, and it would bother me when I couldn't get his hair to stay wrapped around his lock. So once I just figured out a technique after that, it was just tweaking it, you know, here and there to perfect it and just make sure it wasn't damaging the locks along the way.
I'm just oiling his scalp. I heated up my oil for about 30 seconds.
Okay.
In the bottle. And that's it. I might add some more as I go, depending on if I hit a dry spot. But we'll see. Ryan was, he had a little thinning going on up here too. We're bringing it back. We're gonna make a comeback. This is thick compared to what it was actually.
I've been doing locks probably since I was about 12 years old. I started braiding, and then I kind of perfected parting and braiding, and then locks kind of came about a little after because like Lil Wayne came out and then he had dreads, so he made it cool, and then everybody started getting them, and like football players, so I started doing them like here and there. But I was in high school when I actually started getting paid to do locks. Yeah, I didn't like to charge people at first. I still don't like to tax people. Seriously, because I never did it for that. It was never about the money.
All right, and how did you find me? Was it social media?
Yeah, it was Instagram.
Instagram.
Seen that no jail, no clips, and I was instantly like, this right here gonna be my loctician right here. Cause ain't nobody do it like that.
Period.
People don't know that though.
Nah, they don't know. But you knew.
You gotta keep it healthy on them, you know?
We already know. So the goal is to keep the locks as long as possible, okay?
Facts.
We don't want to have to cut them after 7 years.
Not at all.
Because we bald headed, you know? We try to keep them attached as long as possible. I get calls all the time randomly. They be like, hey, I came across your Instagram. I just really want you to do my hair. And I'm like, that's dope. But I wonder what makes people, like, I know I'm different, but like from the pictures, how do you all tell? Because I don't know, like.
Well, you know, like I said before, the no clips, no gel, and then the pictures was like, they were on point. Like her styles was dope. The whole process looked dope. So like, yeah.
There's some people that'll like watch my page for like months.
And I was that
sometimes
person, you
years,
feel me?
before they hit me up.
Like I'll look forward to seeing your Instagram.
And people look for inconsistencies too. But
Yeah.
you ain't gonna find that.
Nope.
Consistency is key. That's really how I'm able to do what I do because I'm consistent. So all this new growth is what we're twisting back into the lock. I use the comb. First of all, I just part it as straight as possible. And then take the comb, unwrap that. And all this hair is what I'm wrapping around the lock. I just want you to notice that it's not twisting here, but it's getting tighter here. I wrap it tight around the lock, but it doesn't damage the lock. As long as you're not twisting the lock by the scalp, it's not damaging. You don't want to just twist the lock. That's what damages it. Some people, they'll like twist halfway. So this is what they do. They'll do this and make the root look good, yeah? And then they'll clip it right here. Don't do that. Clip it further down. Because when you keep clipping in that same spot right there, right after you get done twisting, it thins it out in that one spot. So you ever see people with inconsistencies down the lock? That's one of the reasons why. I'm so proud. These my babies. Like, I love locks. I just love locks.
I take pride in the amount of clients that I have with healthy locks. Like after 7 years, 10 years, even 12 years, they still have a healthy set of locks. Like I'm really proud of that.
They're like my little babies, cause like I take care of them. It's more than just looking good at this point. Like I've been bringing them back to life for years, like the whole time. And it's like I just care to keep them healthy, you know, like to understand why or what makes them unhealthy, you know. And really it's just less is more. The less you touch them, the more it's just gonna grow and just be great. It's okay, look at that, beautiful. Look at that scalp. Boy. His scalp usually, listen, he be having like little dry patches, like you just know it's dry. Look at that, beautiful. Nothing, no dandruff. Go ahead. I'm so proud. That's what happens when you listen, okay? You know, people don't listen.
I know.
And I was trying to tell them, I'm like, look, we're doing this trial and error. I've been doing this for a while. So, like, if I learn because I'll tell people, hey, try this. And then it works. So then I know for the next time, in the next situation, when I see this situation, how to go about fixing it. And that goes for anything. I actually took the time to study the nature of the lock, if that makes sense. I've never specified it like that, but that's really what it was. I wanted to know how not to damage them, because there was so many people coming to me with these situations that I had never seen before. And I've had locks my whole life. I had never seen thinning and all that stuff, but that's because we didn't do tools and all that. We didn't use crochet needles and do interlocking like that. It's a way to do interlocking without damaging the lock. And they did it with no tools. So, yeah.
7 years, I would say. I done lost count. I can't front. I ain't even never keep count. But I say about 7 years, though. Yeah.
Locking for a whole 7. We're going to try to go 7 more.
See what it do. The journey, spirituality of it, you know. As I grow, my locks grow. So, yeah.
I like that. Okay.
Yeah. I'm a fan of Bob Marley and all that, so.
That's my uncle.
It's my uncle, too.
Okay.
Bob Marley is for the
Uncle
people.
Bob.
Yeah. Gotta keep it peaceful, you know. But yeah, that's why I grew mine out, basically. Yeah. Word? Your name was Barbara?
Yeah.
Why'd you change it up?
Well, first of all, it was Barbara because I was named after my mom's mom, my grandma Barbara. I never met her. She passed before I was born. Then my mom was with this movement and they gave everybody African names. So they would call like names like Robert, Barbara, Ryan. Those are slave names, right? Quote unquote. So when they give you an African name, it's a name with a meaning, right? Yeah, they named me Njemile Aisha. Njemile means upstanding. So I went from Barbara Nicole to Njemile Aisha Miro, now Mack. Shout out to my husband for supporting me.
My husband is the one that pushed me to quit my job and do what I'm doing today. Follow my passion. And it's been like the best choice of my life. Standing in Walgreens for 8 hours a day, making nothing. I could be moving around for 8 hours a day and almost tripling that. And it's me making my own money. Like, it was just something about those numbers. Those numbers just didn't add up. So it was time to move around. And I would have never even thought to quit my job if I had never met my husband and he hadn't pushed the issue. But like I said, it was the best decision I could have ever made.
Oh, it's not even
I got to.
Yeah.
Try to get my money back on my taxes. I opened up a bank account too.
That's what LLC and stuff?
DaLocSmiff LLC.
Nice. That's what's up.
On to the next one. Yeah, we're on our way to Dana's. My friend Dana. We've been friends since like St. Jude, elementary, pre-K, first grade, all that. We were Girl Scouts together. And now she's got Locs. So she's got a pretty interesting story of how she started hers too. Hey Dana, I'm outside. I'm in the front.
Okay.
All right. You got mail.
Hey. Yeah, it is dirty back there. I had a wild night.
Oh, Lord.
Okay. Let me know what you need from me.
Tap.
Oh, yeah.
That's all you ever need. Here we have Dr. Bronner's. It's my favorite shampoo. I burnt my eye yesterday with this shampoo. It's dangerous, y'all, but it works. Even if they tell me that they will, they wash their own hair, they washed it already, I still wash it myself just to make sure that it's washed properly. I like to scratch their scalps and just make sure it's really clean, because sometimes it's still dirty. Especially with locks. I wouldn't say it's harder to wash. It's just you have to thoroughly wash.
Yes. I toyed around with faux locks for a while. So I got the courage to just go ahead and do it. And I found the expertise of Njemile, you know. That's the only person I trusted to touch my head, because I did look into 2 other people before, but I just wasn't feeling their energy. And I was like, I hope Njemile comes back to Chicago sometime soon. And sure enough, she was on her way. So I'm like, perfect. I'll just book it with her and let her deal with this. We took down the faux locks, and I had them in for so long. They was already locked up. She worked a miracle. Now I got these beautiful locks.
I never get a reaction out of Dana. She don't do too much smiling, laughing, none of that, right? I knew she was okay because she came out and I got a smile, I got a reaction. She was like, all right. And that was it. Like, that's how I knew it was a hit right there.
Yep.
It was nothing more, nothing less.
It started out, I was working out a lot, and I was doing my hair to, kind of keep it straight, presentable for work. And it just really started to break my hair off. Like, it started getting shorter and shorter with all the heat that I was putting to it every 2 weeks and all that. So I decided to do something a little more maintenance friendly on my hair, and the locks began.
Mm-hmm. We didn't know what we were facing until after she took the faux locks out.
Right.
Because you got the faux locks to start the locks, right?
Right.
She got faux locks over her starter locks. I'll say that.
Right.
Yeah. And 3 months later, had a backwards lock. You see how it's locked right here on the end? This knot was right here, and then the ends were loose. How they do faux locks, they'll wrap it, and then the ends will just be loose. That's how her hair was, her natural hair. It was a locked knot right here and loose ends. So it locked backwards. It doesn't lock like that. When you get the knot goes on the end first, naturally. That's what it looked like when we was taking it down. The knot was right here, and then all this was just loose. So she had a knot about that big of a lock about right there on all of her locks. So that's what we split. We split every last one of these apart, and that's this set that you're looking at right now.
Me and all my clients, we have this kind of relationship I'm a people person at the end of the day. So, if you come to me like, hey, I don't get paid until Friday, but because I travel, I'm only gonna be here till Tuesday. I will do your hair and you can pay me on Friday. I do that type of stuff, but everybody's not gonna do that one, but like I said, it was never even about the money. I would rather me take care of their locks while I'm here and around than for them to miss me and have to suffer the damage that can be caused from someone else retwisting their locks with the lack of knowledge.
It was hard work, I ain't gonna lie. It was super hard
4
work.
hours.
Yeah, nobody would have. No, I told Dana too. I was like, Dana, nobody would have did this. They would have just twisted what you had up there and just left it how it was, and she would have had twice as thick locks as she already has right now. I'm like, no, Dana, your hair is too thick, and those parts are too big. We gotta split them.
Yeah, look at that shit. It looks horrible.
When you were doing your research between me and the other 2 stylists, what stood out the most? Difference between stylists.
Well, so first of all, I knew the situation that I had in my head. So I was trying to explain it to them as best I could and see if they could help me out. Because I didn't want to just let anybody in my head after this. I know everybody's just trying to make $1 out here. So like you said, they'll twist it up. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So once I kind of explained the situation to them, they're like, yeah, I can do it. I'm like, okay, but how? Like, what are you going to need to do? Like, are you going to need me to take the weave out and unbraid it? And just the response, it wasn't informative enough for me. I didn't feel confident in what they were telling me. So then when I took the pictures and showed you and we talked about it, that's your knowledge stood out to me, honestly.
Okay.
And I just trusted you, honestly. I know you. So I trusted you.
People, and that's funny that you say that like that, because even people that have known me, that probably not as long as you've known me, but just about junior high school,
Right.
They've known me and they've known I had locks, they've known I've been doing locks, but they still choose to go to other people and still find their way back to me eventually. And it's like, bro, I've been here the whole time. Like, it's like they'll go somewhere else, they'll come back to me like, fix it.
Right.
And I fix it. Like, goodness. If you look at my clients, you're not going to see damaged locks unless they're a new client and they came to me like that, or we're in the process of fixing it, like Ryan, who we just saw. We're still in the process of healing his locks. But my clients, we don't have the balding, we don't do the thinning, because I catch it. I catch all that before it happens, and I ask questions and they give me answers, and based on the answers that they give me, I know how to guide them to fix the problem. My mom and my dad. I just love the both of them. They've always supported me, been there like in every way, and still to this day I can call either one of them and they'll be right there. So they're like my number one supporters, most definitely. My father, I watched him hustle. Like he was a hustler. My mom hustled too, but my dad, like he would work literally like 16-hour, 20-hour like shifts, and he'd do this every day. And I'm like, if he can do it, I can do it. So like, I will go. I'll be on go for days, like 20 hours here, 16 hours here. I'll knock out 10 heads in a day and turn around and do 6 in the next day. And I can do 10 heads in 10 hours. Like watching my dad, it was a lot of hustlers in my family growing up around me, like cousins, just being surrounded by that just really made me who I am. It molded me into who I am. I like to see the reactions. It's kind of like I put the life back into the locks, yes, but back into the person as well. Like especially if they come to me and they're so damaged and they get to the point where they're about to cut their hair and then they get to me and just seeing the transformation. Like I know what it's gonna look like just by looking at it. Even looking at it rough, it's like, please let me do your hair. Just seeing their reactions, getting up out the chair. That's really what I do it for. Keeping them healthy. I like the fact that I can keep the locks healthy forever too. That's another thing that I really do it for. I do it for them and I do it for the locks. My job, before I quit, I worked at Walgreens in the pharmacy and I hated it. Only because, like, you know, I love to help people, yes, but it's only so much you can take over the counter, you know? So it's like if you tell them anything other than your prescription is ready and turn around and go get it out the bin, it's a problem. So yeah, that can take a toll on you after a while. But really, the reason why I never quit my job to do this first, this was never, like, the only thing that I was doing. Well, when I was hustling, this was my hustle.
if I had a job, this was my side hustle. But my mom, she was like, I had my car. I was the co-signer, but my mom signed for it. And then I had my insurance too. And so those are two things. She's like, you need your car and you need your insurance. So keep this job. She kept telling me, don't quit Walgreens because of the consistency of the checks. You know this check is going to be here every 2 weeks. But it got to the point where the numbers were so backwards. Like, I would almost make the 2 weeks check in like 3 days on my off days. So it wasn't making sense to me, but I still had that fear of letting go of that job. And it's like really that job was holding me back. It's crazy. Take that leap of faith, man. That would be my advice. Just do it. Go with it. I've always been such a free spirit, and I just go with whatever it is. Like, whatever I'm feeling at the moment, I go with it. And here I am. Next time, have a dope recovery. Woo! Oh, we're done. I go to a black dentist in Chicago, Dr. Kyra Barnes. She said, I wonder what I look like with my natural hair. I'm like, you don't look like you. You know? And she was like, well, that's real. Like, I never thought of that. So it's just be you, man. We ain't with that fake shit. That's why I don't do faux locks. I don't do any of the other, like any kind of lock repair that I do is gonna be the most natural way of doing it. You gotta talk to your clients and see. When the last time you had your hair done? When I did it, so you know that I'm doing this. That's really how I just did it over the years. A lot of my clients, they don't go nowhere else. And it's been like that since before I was DaLocSmiff. I was just Njemile with the dreads that laced it. But I had people driving from Texas to like Ardmore, Ardmore's an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours from Langston. Stillwater, 45 minutes. Oklahoma City, shit. Other places. They would come to me though, logging. They would come to me and keep coming. So it's like, I don't know, when you care about what you do, I feel like that's what make you stand out. Like, cause then the people that really care about and they passionate about what they do, it shows through their work. We're at a beauty supply store. I just GPS the closest one to me. We're about to grab some clips. I need clips, combs, maybe some rubber bands, some shampoo, stuff like that.
My work is my passion and my purpose. I'm Jill Burks, managing partner of Collab Capital. How do you work? Hair products work hard like you.
Nothing's open. I do not have any help for the most part. Like, sometimes if a client is getting their hair done, I might play with them or joke with them and tell them,
Turn right onto South Canal Street.
Be my secretary. But really, it's because my phone blows up some days and it's just too much. So I can't, like, my hands are busy doing hair, but I can't text back. So I'll just have my client do the texting for me. So that's about as much help as I get.
The thing I'm most proud of is, I would probably say the amount of clients that I have that are actually my clients that don't go anywhere else, and they all have healthy locks, a healthy, beautiful, healthy set of locks. That's what I'm most proud of. Most definitely.
Food make you dance.
Good girls.
We're about to go to Chanel's. She just got me a new client. One of her friends is over here. He wants a retwist. Hopefully he's still here so I can meet him and bless his crown. DaLocSmiff way.
Do you have like a fold out chair? Like a regular like table chair, like a low chair? I need one with a low bottom. Like these have. This one might be lower than them though. This one, probably the lowest, huh? I can work with that. Yeah, what kind of style did you want?
I mean, what's my options when it comes to styles and stuff? Like,
Man, I can do a lot with a little.
you know what I'm saying?
How you want it? You want it like, I don't know, G. We can do a lot. Shit, I got somebody here shorter than you. He get 2 strands. That motherfucker, he go crazy with his style. The ingredients on this bottle, yes, all natural oils, but for some reason, it helps the dry scalp too. Like I tell my clients to get this oil and to use it like once a week, and it helps. Like it ain't gonna do it overnight, but over time, definitely.
Okay.
Do you put gel in your hair too?
No.
Nothing. So just the oils.
It's the oil and like, the only other thing, let me see.
Any cream products? Cause that'll do it too.
It may be, what's the shit called? Shea butter?
Oh, shea butter is the buildup.
That's the buildup.
That's the buildup.
Okay. It's funny, I bought this sulfur 8 stuff to kind of counteract that. Like, it's a sulfur 8 spray to kind of like,
No,
don't use that.
don't do that. When you pick out products, you look at ingredients,
Right.
okay? If it's not all natural like that, like I'm pretty sure if you pick up that sulfate bottle, it's gonna have some sulfates and some benzoids and some alcohols and all kind of stuff in there. That's what you want to avoid. Look at the ingredients on that. It's nothing but just all natural stuff. So it's like actually the sulfate that you bought, if it has the sulfurs and stuff in it, sulfates and all the other stuff in it, it actually does the opposite and it'll dry your scalp out.
Right.
Because of all the other stuff that's in there.
Yeah. That. I remembered you from last time, and I just asked, like, cause her shit was done, and I knew you was like moving around and stuff, so you know, I'm like, are you in town? You around? She said you were supposed to be stopping by. I'm like, see what it is. I heard about the locksmith from my sister's girlfriend. She had previously came by as well and done her hair about like a couple months ago maybe. I needed somebody to do this hair of mine because I got tired of doing it myself. And yeah, she valid. She valid as hell with her work. I was, you know what I'm saying, I would peep Chanel come through every now and then, you know what I'm saying? She be having a little hair done up. And I never knew who she was getting her hair done by until she came through, like I said. And I was able to witness it firsthand. And so, shit, one thing led to another. I had my opportunity. It's my first opportunity.
Won't be relaxed.
Hey, absolutely not.
It's my new family member, guys.
About 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, I got tired of cutting my hair and wanted to try something different. It started off with like mohawks and things of that nature, and then I got old and boring. And so I got a sponge and shit, started twisting this shit up. The sponge went out of style real quick once I heard about the twisted up joint. You know what I'm saying? Twisted up comb. And
You got that?
Yeah.
You got the little tennis racket?
I got the tennis racket for the hair, yup. I bought one of them, and then I was only able to use that for like 3 weeks because it don't work for longer hair after a while. And then that was more or less the beginning of the journey after that because my hair just kept growing. And then I would continue to cut the sides and the back, but
Did you split them yourself?
Yeah, like by way of the twisted up comb, no cap. The parting just kind of started to take its own form, and like, you know, just I guess playing around in my hair, like I just built on that, like just twisting it up myself, one way or the other. So yeah, whatever you see like that got here was definitely just done over time. So it's only been like a year, really, like since I really even started like just letting it go, and then it started, you know what I'm saying, the length and came. Motherfucking hair from going facing this way to facing this way, okay, yeah.
Yep, once it dropped.
You're right, once it
That's
dropped.
when you see the all the growth.
I hit the drop, and then shit, the rest is history.
The jobs that I've had before all taught me how to control my attitude. I was a firecracker, no way around that. But today, I have like a lot better communication skills and like people skills, and that helps me, of course, with what I do, meeting new people. I meet new people all the time, and I just enjoy it. They just become like family, and man, I love my clients. I don't even like to call them clients. They're my family.
Hello. Damn, that's crazy.
Hey,
what's up, fam? Crazy.
Y'all be real to it.
Hey, I love this. Get down through there.
Y'all
For sure.
doing that.
What do you do? Because I be looking at like the comparison of like, because my mom does locks, and then I started to kind of do his hair, but it's just something about like the way you work it all the way down. Come here. Show me do it right here. I be so like, damn, she went so crazy. Like that's a talent.
So look, one, when you parting, if I'm parting for this lock right here, I'm gonna try to take the hair closer to this lock.
Right.
Okay, to make a straighter part. And I try not to pull. See, this is fine, one hair. But if it was like this when I parted, I would repart that.
Right.
You don't want to pull too many hairs from one lock. So you gonna wrap it. All right, come on. Put your fingers.
Shit, well, that's the motherfucker down.
Put your fingers right here so you can feel what I'm doing. I'm wrapping. But that lock is not twisting at the root. That's the goal. When you twist the lock, it damages the lock. Okay,
Right.
so this
Versus
is the
you
only thing
twisting
that's
it.
tight. Is the only that's it. Every time I bring it around, I pull it.
Damn, that's low key raw as fuck though.
And that's it. And I just go all the way down. I just keep grabbing all these little hairs all the way down.
And just pulling them rather than twisting the lock, because that's how you say the root. Damn, you talented. And then what's more crazy is how it just stays. Like, no, that's dope. I be so fascinated.
She know what to do now. Watch out.
Crazy.
DaLocSmiff training.
Uh-oh.
Hey, don't.
Uh-oh.
I love everything about what I do. And it's just, I mean, I love the reactions I get from people. I love just taking care of their locks. That's really most important to me. I love to see people that are like about to cut. They're like almost to the point where they want to cut their hair, and then I'm like, no. I'm like, please let me touch your hair first. Just let me do it first. And then they let me touch it, and then it's just like I put the life back into not only the locks, but back into the person as well. And it's just a beautiful thing.
Okay, he wants it out of his face. Sauce it up.
Yeah.
Smack it up.
I say you can do all types of stuff.
Smack it up and dump it. Got it. He wants something saucy. So we gonna give him some sauce. He said saucy and out his face. And I ain't got no limits. So we gonna see where this first braid takes us. Y'all finna see me map out some shit. This is like my vision coming to life right here.
Hey, little mama, I got plans for you. No, sometimes you can't stand the do. Same time, I'm a huge fan of you. Have a nigga so stuck on your love, that's why I can't move. Had to take flight so I could let you. Clark and finish Superman, you. Yeah, Superman. I done figured out your angle. You ain't just another token on my game board. See, we got a vibe, we on the way. Ain't really caring what a hater gotta say. looking fly. Girl, you looking beautiful tonight. But on my soul, that's every day though. Got beauty with the brains about a bankroll, yes Lord. Mama, I got plans for you. Know sometimes you can't stand the do. Same time, I'm a huge fan of you. Have a nigga so stuck on your love, it's why I can't move. Had to take flight so I can land for you. Clark Kent been a Superman to you.
Oh wow.
You know all that was going on.
What the fuck did you just do?
Hold on, come back here.
Whoa. Whoa. You just did all of this to my hair?
Yeah, that fast.
He
said, what all can you do? I'm like, yo, I can do a lot with little. Like, what you want? Like,
that's crazy. Hey, that's dope as hell. Oh man, here. Oh,
love.
that's
That's what I do it for. That's what I do it for right there. Those reactions, though, they priceless. That was raw. That was real raw right there.
personal. Locksmith.
Hey,
Locksmith.
you heard the man.
Personal. Locksmith.
DaLocSmiff. One time?
One time for the blind. All right.
DaLocSmiff is my niece. So I've known DaLocSmiff since she was born.
Yes.
And DaLocSmiff had locks in her head when she was 3 years old. When she started doing it as a profession, I saw how good she was. I knew she knew how to do it because I learned from her mom that she was doing her own hair. And I was like, oh. So I said, she must be really good at it. And then she started posting her customers, her clients, online. And I saw what she was doing. I was like, okay. Mm-hmm. Then she started traveling and doing it and coming to Chicago. And I was like, cool. Mm-hmm. So I said, well, let me get her to do mine. Because I don't let too many people do my hair. Because a lot of times they end up messing up and it's just not cool. And she knows the philosophy of keeping up dreadlocks.
I feel like I'm a little different because I've had the clientele for over 10 years now. Like a lot of clients for like 7 to 10 years consistently. And, just the outcome of just testing these theories, it's like, I don't think anyone's ever taken the time to study the nature of the lock, like and what damages this, or like what's too much, or what's like, I don't know, like what keeps them healthy. Like just that's the main goal, is to keep them attached to their head forever, okay? Not to have to reattach it to the head. Like we try to stop it before it comes completely out of the head. Like that's the point, to keep it attached.
My locks are about, this particular set is about 15 years old. Yeah. But I've worn locks off and on for about, I'll say 25, almost 30 years. Yeah. I was wearing braids for a long time. And then I just kind of just transitioned to locks. My sister was wearing them first. And she started locking her hair. And she did her own. And then after she went through hers and took hers out, and that's when I decided to do mine. So braids, I was starting to get allergic to the synthetic hair, and the human hair was expensive and outrageous, and it was hard to find somebody that could braid it and braid it right. So the locks was like the next best thing. And like I said, it's easy maintenance for me because I'm not fashionista, so it don't have to be just so, and I just throw a hairband on it and keep moving. She knows what she's doing. A lot of people don't know what they're doing, and you could tell by the way your hair turns out, or
Over time.
Yeah, over time it starts to look really funky, and the way they do it is really funky. And like I had one guy that used to do it. He was a good stylist. He could do all the styles, but he didn't know anything about hair care. And I started noticing when I was going to him that most of his clients' hairline was gone. It's like just gone.
That's not good.
And I was like, oh, this. And male and female. It's not just certain people. It was like just about everybody. So I was like, okay. Then I was twisting it myself for a little while, and my wrists don't like that too much now. So it was a blessing when she started doing this and started, traveling doing it.
I plan on touching all 50 states. I don't know if I'll do it forever, but I think eventually I'm gonna have a pop-up shop in every major city. It takes so much time to actually build a clientele in a new city. So it takes me, depending on the city, sometimes a whole year just to even get more than 5 clients on a trip. This one lady hugged me for like 5 minutes straight. When I got done with her hair, she did not let me go. And this lady, she had been looking for me since she had called me one time in Oklahoma City, and I was living in Chicago at the time and traveling back and forth. And she found me. I was at Walgreens at work, and she never goes into this Walgreens. She came in there that day and she saw me. I heard DaLocSmiff, and I turned around. I'm back there filling prescriptions, y'all. I thought it was time to quit. And she goes, I've been looking for you. And she had this headband on, and I'm like, take that off. Let me see what's under there. And she took it off. She hadn't had her hair twisted probably about a year or so. The last time she had let her sister in, and her sister tried to do some braids in the front and some old funky stuff, curlers. And so I was like, oh girl, that's easy. We can do that. And she was like, for real? So she's like, okay, I'm gonna come and bring my son to you. And she came, and boy, that lady was so happy.
It's beautiful. It feel better. Watch out, let me give some little. When you go back to shop time.
I always had really dry scalp and really flaky scalp from perms. And so I said, I got tired of the flakes. Everywhere you go, it was flakes. And since I've been locked, I haven't had any of that problem at all. The DaLocSmiff has been a part of my life since she was born. I initially started with twists, so she would come over and just do twists. The twists that you can just wash and take down.
2-strand twists.
Yeah, 2-strand twist, that's it. And I finally just said, okay, let's just do what it's gonna do. I choose her because she don't use the chemicals. It's mostly natural, and she knows what she's doing. She knows how to care for the hair, not just styling and washing and, She knows how to care for the actual hair. Well, I know she's so busy now, and I don't like to interrupt her doing her life. She's done all of my kids' hair and family's hair, and if she have a moment for me, like now, then she'll, put the magic touch on my hair.
My only regret that I have is that I didn't start doing the hair shows and showcases sooner. I did a competition in August of 2019, and then right after that I did a showcase in November of 2019. And it's just, I love the thrill of it. It was so fun, like, oh, it was so fun. I love it. And I just want to do more. So all this year, I'm focusing on teaching and hair shows and showcases.
My TT so pretty.
Thank you.
Okay, we're done. Shots over. Come on, Manny. Manny ain't gonna ask me. Cause I always talk about how Manny be twisting his hair and he gonna twist them off. And he was like, he told me Manny had just twisted his hair. And
I told him, I was like, Mila ain't gonna want to twist my hair.
So I was like, let me just braid.
She headed me last
I had to braid it so you ain't try to twist it again or something. I be trying to save you.
Put some super glue on it.
I'm gonna put some oil on there for now. No, for real, it's super long. Like, I be looking at Manny's hair every time. Like, boy, I'm about to cut it next time. You know that's a lie. I only cut upon requests. We're just braiding Manny's hair. This is my cousin that don't listen. So when I tell him don't touch his hair, he touches it. Because he act like he can't wait. So, yeah, here we are. You see how there ain't no ends sticking out all the way through the locks? Yeah. I've mastered the art of tucking ends as well. Because see, some people have thicker locks. Oh, and it's super hard to tuck those ends, honey. That's why my hands are so bad. Just trying to tuck ends for years. But it bothers me. Like, if I do a braid and the end is sticking out, I will redo the whole braid. All the way back. Where that end is at, I'm going to go right back to it, and then I'm going to start from there.
What would a perfect day look like for me? I would say a day of doing nothing, but I don't like those days. But I would think the way I push my body, it would be an off day, a complete off day, where I just literally laid down and kicked my feet up all day.
This is a photo album. I'm about to go through it, Monty. Oh my goodness. Alright, whose room was this? Look at this. Look at me. DaLocSmiff. Yes. Oh, look at me. These are my brothers. Oh my goodness. This is one of my favorite pictures. This was from the same day. Hilarious. Oh my goodness. My brothers. These are my brothers. Wow. This was at Grandma's condo downtown. My grandma used to have a condo downtown, and all the grandkids would be there for all the holidays. This looked like a Christmas or something. It had to be Christmas. Woo, my brother bust his head open in this swimming pool, and I want to say this was the time. Boy, he ran off of here, tried to do a flip off of this and bust his head open. I just remember watching him jump in the pool. And when he hit his head on that, it's like he went down into the water, but we just saw blood, like, in the water. Like, it was so crazy. And then after that, we saw the ambulance rushing down, and they took him out on the stretcher. I don't remember what happened after that. I just remember seeing that. It was crazy. This is my favorite picture of me and my brother Robert. I said Robert. This one we were Barbara and Robert. It's a throwback. Me in the middle, I don't know if you can see my locks. But I was dreaded that little. And that's DaLocSmiff. It's my mother and my father right here. Just TYD out of the background. Yeah, it's been a really, really interesting day today. Saw a lot of my interesting clients today.
there's plenty more where that came from. All of them have a story, interesting story with it. So, like I still might go downstairs and wake my cousin up and do his hair, but for now, we're signing out. This is me and my cousin Shannon, the one that shoot my video, the documentary. We were always pretty close. It's like one of my favorite cousins growing up. He actually was my favorite cousin growing up. Oh my goodness, look. Oh, who did I think I was? Was that Halloween or something? Get out. But I'll be busy, bro. I'm taking this.